growing up, at least for me, the big corner lot was always the better piece of property. Like, look at this beautiful home and how
Yep.
prominently it stands on the corner. And listen, there are some benefits, but there are for sure some downsides to having corner properties, especially building a home from scratch. A typical interior lot has a front yard setback, a rear yard setback, and two side yard setbacks. Um, and the side yard setbacks are typically much smaller than the front and rear yard. When you have a corner property, there are no rear yards. You have two fronts and two sides.
Hmm.
So typically, the footprint on the fronts, the house would be pushed back much further, which means your yards might be a little bit smaller.
So because it's a corner lot,
You have bigger setbacks.
but it's because it's a corner, it's assumed they're two front lots. Okay, gotcha.
And then in a
Interesting.
typical interior lot, your rear yards may be 30 feet.
Yeah.
It does change zone to zone. I'm just speaking in generalities here. On a corner lot, it drops to 20 because you have to
Yeah.
push these buildings back. So for sure, it affects the design of the home. But more importantly, what a lot of people don't know is when they're building a home or doing a substantial enlargement to their home, they're also responsible for the infrastructure fronting the home. We spoke about trees earlier, where the city can make you plant trees every 25
Yeah.
feet. Well, guess what? If you have a corner lot, now you're responsible for more trees.
Oh yeah.
You're also responsible to make sure the sidewalks, curbs, and the street paving are in good shape. So if you owned an interior lot that's 40 feet wide, you're only responsible for 40 feet of that stuff. Once you now own that 40 by 100 corner lot, you've almost tripled your liabilities and obligations to maintain that stuff and make sure it's in good shape. You went from planting 2 trees potentially to now planting 6 trees.
Oh wow.
You went from installing
Yeah.
40 feet of concrete sidewalk to
Yeah.
140 feet of installing concrete
Yeah.
sidewalks. So again, in these times where construction is very expensive, people come to me and say, hey, what could I build on this lot? The corner lot is typically more expensive to build, even though it's the same size as that interior
Yeah.
lot, because of all this extra stuff you need to do.
Yeah. Great.